Welcome to E-commerce Spotlight, a podcast where we discuss all things e-commerce related, from social media marketing to navigating the maze of online payment options. My name is Adam, and today Dawid Cekiera from TrustMate has decided to join me to talk about online customer reviews. How do they affect customer purchasing decisions? Well, let's find out. Hi, David. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Great. Before we move to today's topic, can you tell us about yourself, TrustMate, and your job there?
Sure. So my name is Dawid Cekiera, and I'm a content manager at TrustMate. So it means that I'm responsible for all our content marketing activities. It starts with social media posts, blog post articles, presentations, etc. And the goal of all those activities is to attract new customers and, of course, retain existing ones and keep them loyal. When it comes to creating the content itself, it's really a paradise for copywriters and content managers because there's really a lot to write about. At TrustMate, we help e-commerce businesses grow by boosting their sales and conversion rates with the power of online customer reviews. It means that we have their back at every step of the process, from collecting through managing until the displaying of the reviews. And what makes us different than any other platform helping with this particular field is our secret sauce, which is globally unique, truly one-of-a-kind review hint system. It precisely addresses the most common reason of short and vague reviews like, okay, I highly recommend it. It's great. I'm satisfied. Short, vague, no details. And the reason why customers leave this kind of reviews is that they have no idea what to write because they either don't remember or, they're just caught up in a moment checking email, okay, there's the invitation. And the example I like to use when I explain how the review system works is the example of iron. Imagine you bought an iron and you got an invitation, okay, please leave a review and tell us what you think about this iron. And what would you say? Great iron. I love it.
It works.
It works. And this is where we step in and where we help. And the system will suggest you phrases like, the steam power is right, the cord is long enough, it's not heavy, it has some cool additional features like auto switch off to prevent fire in your apartment, etc. Besides this secret sauce, which is the review hint system, we provide e-shops with plenty of additional features like the mediation process, product polls, surveys, including NPS, auto translations, and many more. And we allow them to reap all the benefits stemming from online customer reviews thanks to all those additional features. I don't want to sound too cocky, but the growing number of our customers is a good proof that we are doing a great job.
Great, thank you for this introduction. And I have to say, I have to admit that it sounds really interesting that all those hints that you mentioned there are right there for me when I'm trying to leave a recommendation or a review. So it sounds like a really, really great option for all the e-commerce owners right there, and also for their clients. But let's start with today's topic. We know that customer reviews are important, and that thing has been known for a while, let's say. But are they more important now than they are ever before, or especially now with all the social media activities and etc.? How does it look like?
Yes, they are important. Next question, please. No, I'm joking. Of course, they're important, and I think we all agree that in the past 5 years, the way we do online shopping changed irreversibly. It affects both the importance of online reviews and the customer's behavior. So for us as customers, online reviews became more important or even crucial factor influencing our purchasing decisions? In my opinion, the best way to address this question is by asking another one. Think about the last time you bought something online. Did you or did you not read online reviews?
Sure, every time.
Of course you did, because you wanted to make sure that your hard-earned money wouldn't be wasted on a product you wouldn't like or that wouldn't meet your quality expectations. It's simple as that. It's deeply encoded in our online DNA, right? And the important aspect here is that we're now shopping online more than ever before. So I think that online reviews importance will continue to grow further, both for customers and sellers.
Okay, so can we assume, or maybe you can tell us, what percentage of e-shoppers, of online customers, take reviews into account before they make their purchase decision? Because I know I do, but I'm assuming I'm not the only one, and I don't know if every one of my friends, for example, is also doing this way.
Well, that's really a good question, because it shows you how huge the market and the topic of online reviews is in general. Surveys show that it's 95% of customers who read online reviews before they make any purchase online. The reason for that is, as we discussed before, they're simply looking for unbiased insights about the brand, product, service, or even the customer experience as a whole. And the goal is to make better, well-informed decisions, to be more satisfied. Interesting thing here is that the statistic changes the more expensive the product gets. So the more expensive it is, the more reviews we want to read. The more money we risk, the more we want to make sure that we're making a good decision. What's also interesting is that apart from online reviews, we see a growing demand to make them accessible also in the offline space. So the result is that we see more and more offline stores, offline shops using, for example, QR codes as it's the solution that we provided TrustMate to showcase customer reviews right next to the product on the shelf. And the reason why sellers care about this is very simple. It's worth it. You know, when you don't know what it's all about, it's always about the money. And the A/B tests conducted with our clients have shown that, depending, of course, on the product and the market and the website traffic and many other factors, but in general, products with reviews, like displaying reviews on the product page, can boost sales by as much as 17%. If you put this into the perspective of the scale, it's really a huge number. Another proof is that 58% of customers say that they would pay more for products of a brand that has a good review, it's renowned, or has an good overall score, like 4-5 stars. And the last proof, and I think the closest to our everyday life, is that 84% of customers say that they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations from family or friends. So it gives you an image of how important and how powerful a sales boosting machine online reviews are, right?
Sure, because those kind of numbers that you brought up, especially with putting it against the recommendation from our friends or family members, it's really open-minding for every e-commerce owner out there, that it's the online reviews are something that you cannot miss on. You have to take this into consideration, into your perspective. and it's something that you cannot miss, because we can't let that much of our customers, of our market, just to let go because we don't want to gather those reviews, or we just didn't pay as much attention to this as we should. Okay, and how about the number of our reviews? How many online reviews do customers read before they begin to trust us as a brand? Because let's say we are starting to gather them. Is it some kind of point that we can say that our job here is done, and okay, we don't need to gather any more reviews than we have already? And also another thing is that negative reviews. Does the lack of negative reviews on a product or service page somehow diminish its credibility?
Well, I'll start with the number of reviews we read. When thinking about this, I can definitely tell you one thing: customers never stop at one. That's for sure. About the rest of it, it depends on many factors like age or the place you live. Like US customers tend to have some different behavior paths than European customers. But in general, some surveyors say that customers read at least 4 reviews before they trust the business, while others hover somewhere around 10. Guessing by that, we have approximate image that it's more than 4 reviews. What we know for sure uh, is that when a product gets 5 reviews, the likelihood of it being purchased increases by 270%. This is again huge change. And just think about this. You have 5 reviews under the product, and the likelihood increases that much. It's another proof that it's worth it. And in terms of negative reviews, those are super important. In fact, buyers are very skeptical of reviews that seem too perfect, overly beautiful. Every word and every sentence, just like a picture,
Just
right?
perfect to every little detail.
Yes, exactly. And that's why negative review from time to time makes the whole picture, whole image of a company, of a brand, much more believable. We often say that even the best run businesses face unhappy customers and negative reviews. And there's also an interesting study about this, showing that businesses having around 15% of negative reviews note more or less 13% more revenue than those with only 5% of critical reviews. So, a decent amount of negative reviews can actually boost your business because it increases your um, it's much more believable. It seems real, We're all people. We know how things work, and when you see, only 5-star ratings, your first thought is like, okay, it's a scam or something like that.
Sure, because with that amount of internet scam that we can expect on every step during our internet path to buy something, sure, it can bring our suspicions to these reviews, that if we get like you said 10 or maybe more perfect reviews, our first thought will be it is a scam, or it's those opinions are fake or made by someone from the family or friends. So it's not really about
Exactly,
those products,
exactly.
like
I,
you
I,
said.
I think I think you can say that as customers nowadays we're equipped with fake sensors, so always and everywhere the balance and transparency are the key. No matter if you're like us today talking to someone and recording a podcast or leaving a review or collecting the reviews, transparency and balance are the key.
Sure, because after all, we all want to buy something from an actual person on the other side right there. So those kind of negative reviews also bring it to the whole human person that's okay, it's okay to make
Exactly.
a mistake, and that something can be not perfect, one little aspect. Not everything has to be perfect, like you said, everyone with 5 stars ratings. But before we move on to negative feedback, one question that I have in mind is that let's take a little different perspective, not from the e-commerce owner, let's say, but from the customer that can leave you a review. What makes any review a trustworthy one? So what the opinion as it should be per se?
Well, I would say it's always a mix of factors. Again, it depends, of course, but first of all, the more detailed the review is, the better. 1 star review saying that the product is ugly, or 5 star review praising its beauty, are less convincing than those which actually refer to particular product factors, describing how it feels, how it works, how let's say how you like to use it, how good it is at doing its job, etc. Another thing is the review origin, and especially since the Omnibus Directive appeared, it shed some light on this topic. So we trust, or we should trust, online reviews which actually come from customers who bought or used the particular product or service. Sometimes it's hard to say which one are those, but as I said, the Omnibus Directive makes it easier for customers to judge whether or not the review should be trusted or not. What's also important is the aforementioned balance. So a negative review from time to time works fine, various rates, in general, diversity. Keep it diverse.
Okay, so going back to negative feedback, what can we, as let's say this time, e-commerce owners, do when we receive a negative review? I'm assuming that just leaving it and pretending that it doesn't exist isn't the best option right there.
Well, no, it is not. It is actually one of the worst things we can do because it gives people reading the review the ability to interpret it their own way. And that's what you want to avoid. So I think the best way to address any negative review and to act like a pro is to deal with it in 6 simple steps. Those are the 6 steps we described in many of our materials, and I'll just briefly jump through them. First of all, make it quick. The faster you respond, the better. Response time here is the key and allows you to do a better damage control, especially in case of false opinions. A prompt response gives you the possibility to fill some gaps in a negative review and make the picture a bit more understandable for future customers. The second thing is to always be professional and courteous. I know it's easier said than done, okay? It's like a fundamental aspect of managing any crisis. Be polite and be respectful. There's nothing worse than publicly arguing with your customers with, swear words all around, etc. Don't let emotions take over and always offer your help. Focus on the facts and don't blame the other side. Number 3, it's a bit similar to what I already said. Avoid getting into arguments. But the important thing here is to control the narrative. It's also easier said than done. But if you understand what prompts your customer to leave a review like this, it's easier for you to, step into his shoes or her shoes and respond properly. The next thing is always express empathy and try to sort things out. Like the sole idea of commenting the review comes from caring about your customers. It shows that you care. So take it to another level. And no matter what the customer said, okay, your whole company is rubbish, you robbed me, I will, tell all my friends about you, never again, etc. We've all seen this kind of stuff, right?
Sure.
No matter what they say or what they do, always express empathy and say, hey, let's talk. I'm sure we can sort things out, right? Another thing is propose a dialogue and provide a way for a reviewer to contact you. Recently, I've been preparing some PDF that will shortly be available, and I've done some research. I found some reviews or comments and reviews saying, "Okay, let's talk," but not specifying, "Okay, how can I contact you?"
How?
Right? So it's
With
simple.
no email or phone
Exactly.
number, etc.
Figure it out. That's your homework, right? You want to talk? You'll find a way to do it. So it's simple as that, but always provide the reviewer with your contact details. Like make it as simple as it can be for him to contact you. Another thing, the sixth point, is strive to be as genuine as possible. And this is a crucial factor. You can forget about the email. You can sometimes get caught up in emotions. You can comment on the review with a delay. But if you are not genuine, if you are not showing your human face, you're like putting a cross on yourself, right? Yeah. Even when you're responding to reviews that are negative or fake, or your competition left them, you always need to show your human side. Even simply signing with your name instead of, okay, best regards, our company, demonstrates that you take the review seriously, that you approach it individually, and it further emphasizes your willingness to resolve the conflict, to help this customer, right? And last but not least, always try to collect more positive reviews to sort of undo the damage that this one single negative review have done. And never underestimate the power of negative reviews. Okay, you need them to make your image believable, real, etc. But studies have shown that it takes as much as 40 positive reviews to fix a single negative review damage. So always take it seriously and always try to undo the damage and sort of pour some positive reviews on top of this negative one.
So the damage control is crucial, like you said here, because if it takes 40 positive reviews to let's say cover that one which is a bad review, a negative review to our company, it sounds like a lot of work. And once again, we are returning to this thing that you cannot ignore it. The online reviews as a whole aspect of your e-commerce business, you can just miss it on it and you can just leave it there and not paying attention to this.
Yeah. And another study has shown that the vast majority of customers actually starts researching the brand or etc. by intentionally picking negative reviews. So they start with the bad stuff. So this is your way, this is your opportunity to show, okay, we've had some ups and downs, let's say, or as I said before, every business has to face a negative review, and we also did face
Sure.
this. But this is how we reacted, and this is your way to build your reputation and to show your class, uh, even in case of negative reviews.
Okay, so you said about gathering those positive reviews, and we know that the unhappy customers are more likely to leave feedback than those ones who are happy with their pages. What can we do to even these proportions? Should we just ask our clients to leave feedback, or is there some kind of other way that we can boost those numbers in terms of positive reviews from those clients that they were happy from their purchase?
Well, this is one of the tough ones. Like, this question is one of the tough ones because there is no works for all formula. And I wish it was, but there's no. Our experience shows that there are many factors influencing efficiency of the whole review collection process. It's not only how you ask, or is it via email, via QR code, via phone call, via IVR, or via text message, but also, for example, when, right? Or what you say, how you like, what's the message you send to the customer. The most common way to ask is to ask customers for feedback via email. Usually, after the product is delivered, you receive an email. Okay, tell us how you like this or that product or service. But this is not necessarily the best option for everyone. We always encourage our clients to experiment a little, to try different combinations. Try to send the invitation earlier. Try to send it, 2 days after, 3 days after the order is completed. Try to send it after the delivery. Maybe give your customer a time, 2, 3, 5 days, a week to test the product and really develop some opinion about this. And even we encourage them to even try different review invitation emails, content, or the way it looks, right? Because those simple things can change everything. And we encourage all our clients to always A/B test and find out what works for them best. This thing can vary from one company to another, or even from one product to another. For one product, you will have the combination X that is working fine and giving you the best results. The success rate is 24%. So 24% of customers who receive email asking for a review from TrustMate decides to leave a review, leave feedback, and actually leaves a review. And you can have a perfectly tested formula for one product that wouldn't work for a world for another one, right? So always A/B test. Sorry for keeping it so long, but there are, of course, some basic principles working everywhere. Like, make sure the invitation is personal. Make sure to send reminders, because over 80% of reviews come from follow-up emails. Make sure that the email looks good and the process is easy, right? Like, that it takes just a few taps or clicks and you're ready to go. And of course, and it's surprising that it's also that today it's often underestimated or forgotten about. Make sure it looks good on mobile devices, right? Simple as that.
Sure. So I was going to ask you, is there any magic formula, like every email with invitation to leave a review should be sent within 3 days or 4 days or 5 days? But you already answered my question that there is no magic formula, and we have to test for every product and let's say every persona, every buyer persona that you have. So it comes with a lot of changes.
I would say definitely for product categories or company to company, these things are really completely different because customers who have recently bought, I don't know, bed sheets, and those who recently bought, I don't know, a new laptop or a TV would act differently, right? There are different needs and motivations behind every one of those purchases. So, well, it would be nice to approach them differently, right? Magic formula. The only thing I have in my head is at midnight, go somewhere, find the oak and walk around this 3 times, waving your hands. It doesn't work. There's no such thing. And, if someone says, okay, do this, this, and that, I agree only if those are the basic principles. Make it personal, make it look nice, make it easy, etc.
I'm seeing this as another opportunity for us as a company to show our human face once again to our customers. Also with asking them for reviews with all the things that you just said. And I think that's all for today. Thank you, Dawid, so much for all the information, for all the insights, for all the data that you provide us today. Really appreciate this. Really appreciate your time. To our listeners, if you have any questions regarding today's topic, please let me know at spotlight@icea-group.com, or you can reach directly to Dawid. Dawid, how can our listeners reach out to you?
Via LinkedIn, or just send me an email to david.cekiera@trustmate.io, and I'll respond as soon as possible. If I may add something at the end,
sure.
I think it's super crucial to understand that collecting reviews is just the tip of the iceberg. I think we've covered a lot, but there is much more to it. Okay, and what about the thank you page? How do you utilize it? What are the benefits stemming from long reviews, right? How it can boost your international sales, because it can. Just use the auto translations. How it can, boost your SEO and search results rank. It can. Just make sure that your reviews are keyword filled. What I want to say is, I think that every e-commerce owner should further explore, and I hope that this podcast will inspire them to do so, to further explore actually endless possibilities stemming from collecting, managing, and displaying online customer reviews in a proper way.
Those are the really wise words, and it was the perfect ending for this for this podcast. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. And to our listeners, see you, or rather hear you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.